Hey, we are going to read a story called Miss Nelson is Missing by James Marshall. But before we get started, I want you to look at this picture and I want you to think, ooh, do you think it's going to be a serious story or a funny story? And maybe you've already heard this story, but the cool thing about books is you can read them 1,000 times over again, and you might catch something that you didn't see the first time or the time before that. So listen anyways, even if you've already read this story. So Miss Nelson is missing. While we're reading it, Miss Weisel is going to ask you to pause and think about some different things as I'm reading. Now we might talk about inferencing a little bit later, but I want you to keep that in mind. So, Miss Nelson is Missing by James Marshall. The kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling, paper planes whizzed through the air. They went to the worst behaved class in the whole school. I'm really hoping that you are behaving kindly and respectfully for your parents and family members at home. So not like Miss Nelson's classroom. Now settle down, said Miss Nelson in a sweet voice. But the class would not settle down. They whispered and giggled. They squirmed and they made faces. They were even rude during story time. And they always refused to do their lessons. Something will have to be done, said Miss Nelson. The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. Wow, yelled the kids. Now we can totally act up. They began to make even more spitballs and more paper airplanes. Today's let's just be terrible, they said. Not so fast, hissed an unpleasant voice. Now I'm thinking to myself, I wonder who that might be, because I am trying to make an inference. So I'm noticing that the kids are acting kind of rudely and they want to make it the worst day ever. But then a voice tells them, not so fast. Now I'm thinking, could that be the principal maybe coming in? Or, who else would tell kids to not do something? A woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp. And she rapped the desk with her ruler. Where is Miss Nelson? Asked the kids. Never mind that, snapped Miss Swamp. Open those arithmetic books. Miss Nelson's kids did as they were told. They could see that Miss Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Right away, she put them to work. And she loaded them down with homework. We see math and language arts and pyramids and spelling and lots of books. We'll have no story hour today, said Mrs. Swamp. Keep your mouths shut, said Miss Swamp. Sit perfectly still, said Miss Swamp. And if you misbehave, you'll be sorry, said Miss Swamp. The kids in room 207 had never worked so hard. Days went by, there was no sign of Miss Nelson. The kids missed Miss Nelson. Maybe we should try to find her, they said. Some of them went to the police. Detective Mr. McSmog was assigned to the case. He listened to their story. He scratched his chin. He said. I think Miss Nelson is missing. Detective McSmog would not be much help. Other kids went to Miss Nelson's house. The shades were tightly drawn, and no one answered the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. If she sees us, she'll give us more homework. They all got away just in time. I wonder why Mrs. Swamp is there at Miss Nelson's house. Maybe they're friends. I don't know. That's a thought. Maybe something terrible happened to Miss Nelson. Maybe she was gobbled up by a shark, said one of the other kids. But that didn't seem likely. Sharks, very unpleasant. Maybe Miss Nelson went to Mars, said another kid. But that didn't seem likely either. I know, exclaimed one know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried off by a swarm of angry butterflies. But that was least likely of all. The kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed that Miss Nelson was never coming back, and they would be stuck with Miss Viola Swamp forever. They heard footsteps in the hall. "Here comes the witch," they whispered. "Hello, children," someone in a sweet voice said. Sweet voice? Do we think it's Miss Viola again, or did Miss Nelson come back? It was Miss Nelson. "Did you miss me?" she asked. "We certainly did," cried the kids. "Where were you?" "That's my little secret," said Miss Nelson. "How about story hour?" "Oh, yes," cried the children. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour no one was rude or silly. "What brought about all this lovely change?" she asked. "That's our little secret," said the kids. Back home, Miss Nelson took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to the ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. "I'll never tell," she said to herself with a smile. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case. He is now looking for Miss Viola Swamp. I wonder though, were they both missing or were they both the same person? That's up for you to decide. Have a great day. Bye.